Put all your stuff away and check out for the day. There's no time to waste when it's 100 degrees. Burns under my feet. Won't you have a drink with me?
I bought two of the most hyped personal cooling devices to test during the recent UK heatwaves. One of them promises high-tech neck air conditioning, and the other is a neck fan with a cooling plate. In this video, we're going to find out if they are the coolest gadgets on the market, or whether the hype is just a load of hot air.
There's a heat wave rolling in. There's a heat wave, yeah. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire.
I'd never even heard of neck fans until recently, but with the heatwave, I just had to give them a try. I picked up two models at the opposite ends of the price range. I got the Pluvofan for about £40, and then the Ranvoo Aice Lite Plus, which cost me £180 as the price suddenly inflated due to the news of the heatwave. Reviews on both models were glowing. One review even likened the Ranvoo to the Mercedes Maybach of neck fans. Naturally, I just had to see for myself. Both models feature a 6,000 mAh battery and come in wearable neckband design. The Pluvofan is basic. It has two powerful fans to create the airflow, and then it has a small cooling plate at the back. The controls for the Pluvofan are all manual and fairly basic. You get one button to control the fans and another button to control the cooling plate. The Ranvoo is sleeker with larger metal cooling plates, a display, and apps available on both iOS and Android, which allow you to control the cooling plates and the fan. One thing to bear in mind with the Ranvoo is that the spec sheets seem to say that it comes with 15-watt fast charging, though in my real-world usage, I found that not to be the case. I don't know whether my unit may be faulty, but I certainly couldn't get it to charge at the advertised 15 watts. The Pluvofan needed no setup at all really. Put the thing on your neck, set your fan and cooling plate with the buttons, and you're good to go. The Ranvoo does have manual controls as well, with a couple of buttons up the top, but I found it less intuitive and more clunky than the Pluvofan. To get the best out of the Ranvoo, you really need to set up the app, which gives you a more fine control over the settings. On both models, you really do feel the metal plates cool right down. They get really cold to the touch. Once I put them on my neck, had the fan set how I liked, and the cool plates going, I genuinely felt some relief, especially when I was indoors. But once I stepped outside, it was game over. The 30-degree heat just overpowered it. The cooling plates were still cold to the touch, but it just wasn't enough to keep me cool. It didn't cool me down, it just kind of existed on my neck. The Pluvofan is the same deal. Decent fans, so it works well indoors, but outdoors, it's just kind of blowing warm air in my face. So I'm driving in my car, and currently, the air conditioning is broke. So I'm kind of hoping that this thing can take the place of the air conditioning and keep me cool while I drive.
It was at that moment the tech father knew he fucked up.
So what I've actually done now, you see the windows, I've resorted to taking the neck thing off and rolling the windows down to try and stay cool in this insane hot weather. It has to be said that with both models, I put them on my neck and I felt genuine relief, especially indoors in a controlled environment. So whilst they can't deal with 30-degree heat, there are times when, even outside, the Ranvoo especially is quite nice to have. So it's late morning, I'm out here doing some light gardening work. It's about 23 degrees according to my Apple Watch, and I just keep switching between the two models to see how they perform and which one I favour the most. And it has to be said, at the moment, I keep coming back to this one. In the outdoor environment, this one's mostly fans, and because it's a little bit breezy, you don't tend to notice that so much anyway. So it's the cooling plates on this one that in this environment is winning out for me at the moment. I found both devices to be fairly quiet, though the Pluvofan, it only has 3 fan settings. You've got low, medium and high. Now high, obviously better cooling, but the downside is it's quite loud, there's a lot of air and it's all blowing in your face and especially your ears. You don't want to contend with that for more than a few minutes. Anything longer than that really gets quite annoying and fast. The Ranvoo is more balanced and comfortable overall. It definitely feels more premium, and the app gives you a much more fine level of control over the fans, and there's several different modes that you can select from. I found that the AI mode on the Ranvoo tries to adjust with your ambient temperature. So sometimes it chills it down a bit more, sometimes it brings it up a little bit warmer, all with the overall goal of cooling you down and saving battery life. So are they just gimmicks? No, not exactly. But they're not miracle devices either. If you work in a warehouse, or maybe you want some relief while you're commuting, or perhaps like me, you work in a bit of a stuffy home office, then I think you may find these of some help. But outdoors in the summer heat, neither of them are really up to actually being able to cool you down. The Pluvofan is really decent for good airflow at a reasonable price. Imagine a bit like a desk fan or a handheld fan, and you just got it blowing air at your face. It doesn't cool the air down, but it's quite pleasant. The Ranvoo being labelled as an air conditioning device, I ordered it with the expectation that it would actually blow chilled air at me, and that's not the case. So if you were expecting the same, you could be disappointed. Now, those cooling plates are very nice, but in warm, humid conditions, it's still only blowing the warm, humid air at you. So the Ranvoo is definitely more sleek, more refined, but at £180, that's on you whether you can justify that. The Pluvofan's going to give you 80 or 90% of what the Ranvoo does for just a fraction of the price. Let me know in the comments down below if you've ever tried one of these devices or any of the similar ones out there. Let me know if they worked for you or whether you was expecting more, and if you're hopeful for better models in the future. If this video helped, leave a like, consider subscribing, and stay cool, or at least try to, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.